Hello everyone, hope you're all having an excellent day. Just wanted to share with you this free color wheel PSD I made to sort of help you find a color palette for complementary, triads, split complementary, and quadratic color palettes. And you kind of just, select a layer and then rotate it using Command T or Control T, and then you double click on the inside to say, okay, that's my color palette. And there's different ways to kind of find different combinations. So there's also numbers on the side of each color to let you know which colors are primary, secondary, or tertiary. So basically, you just follow the link in the description and put a 0 in the field right here, 0, and then you click this button, I want this, and then it will, then you download the file. And it's a PSD file, so it opens up in Photoshop. You're welcome to donate a cup of noodles, but it's meant to be free. And the rest of the video is a clip from my CGMA class explaining the color palettes on the color wheel. So by the way, the class has filled up pretty quickly, so we extended the capacity to allow more students to enter. So the link is also in the description for that. Anyway, I hope this helps, and right on, check it out. Looking at the color wheel. Now, here's this fancy little color wheel I made. Pretty proud of it, not gonna lie, but it's pretty standard. It has all the colors of the spectrum, and you can use this to figure out color palettes as well. So if you're not using the photo method, or maybe you use it from paintings, but there's something called complementary colors, right? And you might be already familiar with it. I tend to actually use orange and blue a lot, but basically on the color wheel, complementary colors are opposite from each other, right? And so you can imagine that that's a pretty decent start for getting opposites, because they literally complement each other. And so how does that look if we were to use this as orange and blue, right? And let's see what they look like next to each other. So if we have orange and then blue, there's this really crazy pop that happens right where they meet, and that works for any of them. So let's kind of rotate it, try it with some other colors, maybe purple and yellow. Yep, it has that pretty crazy pop. And so this is, especially with orange and blue, it's warm and cool. It's they're opposites. So this is definitely something to keep in mind if you want to have interesting contrast happening in your pieces. Now that will kind of come up a lot later as well, when you're getting a better mastery of how to color and paint, but this is just a crash course on it. And so that's complementary. One more thing that I could talk about is similar, but it's actually called triads, right? So what that means is it's not directly across, but you're going to come up with 3 colors that are making this triangle, right? And so if we go back to here, it's red, yellow, and blue, magenta, yellow, and blue, light blue, orange, purple, and green, and then orange, blue, and green, and then it gets back to where we started. So each one of those also creates a pretty interesting color palette, and the reason is they're all equally opposite from each other. So when you put them next to each other, they have this kind of like magical, connection with each other somehow, and it works. And of course, these are fully saturated. You could take this concept and desaturate it to make, so it makes sense with your painting, but this is the gist of it, right? So let's do one more. What about, green, orange, and yellow, or green, orange, and purple. So you'll notice that a lot of vibrant color characters that have these types of color palettes, they really pop. Like if you look at Overwatch, this top one's definitely more towards Lucio.
Hello.
There's a couple skins for Tracer that's
what you looking at?
These colors in the middle, not so much red, yellow, and blue, but that's kind of how you come up with it. Oh no, it's all in the wrong layer. Yes, okay, so now that we covered that, that's kind of yours forever. You can kind of come up with your own color palettes using the color wheel. And you could also look into things like split complementary, by the way. I didn't actually do an example for that. What that means is if you have a complementary color, or let's say you have your main color, the split complementary would go to the opposite side, but take these two colors instead. And you would avoid the one directly across. So that would also create its own kind of color palette situation. So this is blue with red and orange, deep blue with yellow and orange, and then magenta with yellow and green. And so there's like plenty of different combinations and ratios, but I just want to cover as many ways as possible. Alright, I hope that was helpful, and thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed it, feel free to share it with anyone else that might be interested in learning or understanding color, or the color wheel, or color palettes. So yeah, right on. Have an awesome day.